Success isn't what you think. Most people misunderstand success. They think it's about luck, about talent, about being in the right place at the right time. But I'll tell you something Mr. Schaff once told me that changed everything. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. That line hit me like a thunderbolt. You don't get success by hoping, begging, or waiting. You get it by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. And that begins with your mindset, your habits, and your philosophy. You see, success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from becoming more. That's the great secret. Most people spend their lives trying to change their income, their relationships, their reputation, without ever changing themselves. But success isn't an outside job. It's an inside job. If you want to have more, you must become more. If you want a better life, you need better thinking. That's the truth about success no one tells you. It starts with you, not with the economy, not with your boss, not with your circumstances, with you. When I was 25 years old, I was broke. I had pennies in my pocket and excuses in my mouth. I blamed everything: taxes, politics, prices, my company, my upbringing. Then I met Mr. Schaff. He looked at me and said, "Jim, you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour." That changed everything. He didn't tell me to work harder. He told me to work on myself. So I started reading. I started listening. I started associating with people who thought bigger, lived better, and expected more of themselves. And slowly but surely, my mindset changed. And when my mindset changed, my life changed. That's the message I want to share with you today. Not fluff, not hype, principles. Because the truth about success isn't in a hack or a secret. It's in the fundamentals: responsibility, vision, discipline, and personal growth. So in this message, we'll explore 4 truths about success most people never learn, and how you can apply them today to take control of your future. You ready? Let's dive in. You don't get paid for time, you get paid for value. Let me tell you something I learned early on that completely shifted how I looked at work, money, and success. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. When I first heard that from Mr. Schaff, I didn't fully understand it. I thought, well, I worked 8 hours. I should get paid for 8 hours. But he said, not necessarily. 8 hours of ordinary effort brings an ordinary wage. But 1 hour of extraordinary value can pay you for a week. You see, time is a constant. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, but the difference between success and mediocrity lies in what you put into that time, the value you create. Let me give you an example. 2 people can work the same job in the same office for the same company. One earns $40,000 a year. The other earns $150,000. They're both using the same hours. So what's the difference? The difference is in their skills, their ideas, their leadership, their value to the organization. It's what they've learned, what they've become. You see, success isn't about putting in more time. It's about becoming more valuable in the time you put in. And how do you increase your value? Personal development. When you read a book, you add to your mind. When you develop a new skill, you increase your usefulness. When you become more disciplined, more focused, more inspired, you separate yourself from the crowd. That's why I say, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Develop more wisdom. Because when you grow, everything else grows with you. Your income, your relationships, your impact. Now, let me give you something practical. You don't need to make a dramatic leap overnight. Just start by increasing your value by 1% each day. 1% more focused, 1% more skilled, 1% more generous. Over time, that daily improvement compounds into extraordinary results. Mr. Schoaf told me, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Why? Because if you become more, you'll attract more. If you raise your value, the marketplace will notice. You don't need to demand more money. Become the kind of person that earns it. Remember, the marketplace doesn't care how long you've worked. It cares how well you've worked, how smart you've worked, and how valuable you've become. So ask yourself, how can I be more valuable today than I was yesterday? Can I learn a new skill? Can I solve a new problem? Can I lead someone better? Can I communicate more clearly? You don't have to wait for a raise. You give yourself a raise by increasing your value. That's the secret most people never learn. They think success is about staying longer. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more resourceful. That's what the great ones do. That's how fortunes are built. And the best part? You're in control of your value every single day. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. One of the greatest breakthroughs in my life came when I finally understood what Mr. Schoaf meant when he said, success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. Now, I want you to pause and really think about that. Most people chase success like it's a thing to grab, something out there in the world they need to go find. They run harder, push faster, hustle longer. But success keeps slipping through their fingers. Why? Because success doesn't respond to force. It responds to value, to character, to mindset. You don't chase it, you attract it. You've probably heard people say, I just need a lucky break. But luck follows those who are prepared. Luck follows those who have built themselves into someone success wants to visit. You don't become successful by running after opportunity. You become successful by becoming the kind of person who naturally draws opportunity in. And how do you become that kind of person? By working on yourself more than you work on your job. Now listen closely. Success isn't something mysterious. It's not reserved for the elite or the lucky few. It's simply the result of becoming more valuable to the marketplace, to your family, to your community, and ultimately to yourself. Here's how it works. If you want to attract more, you have to become more. If you want better relationships, become a better communicator. If you want more wealth, develop better habits. If you want more opportunity, be the kind of person who creates opportunity for others. You see, your personal growth becomes a magnet for success. Success is attracted to discipline because most people avoid it. Integrity, because it's rare. Confidence, because it signals leadership, vision, because it points to purpose. Gratitude, because it multiplies what you already have. When you possess these traits, doors open. People notice. You don't have to knock down the door. The door opens because success recognizes who you've become. I remember when I was broke and frustrated at 25. I had pennies in my pocket and a list of excuses. But once I began working on my mindset, reading, journaling, setting goals, listening to wise mentors, things began to shift. Not overnight, but over time, my habits changed, my perspective matured, my circle expanded, and opportunities started showing up, not because the world changed, but because I changed. The better you become, the better life responds to you. People often ask, how do I make more money? The answer? Become more valuable. They say, how do I get noticed? Become so good they can't ignore you. They ask, how do I attract better relationships? Become a person worth relating to. That's what attraction is. It's not magic, it's maturity, it's mindset, it's mastery. And here's the beauty, you're not stuck. You can become anything you want, not by chasing something, but by building something. Building yourself. Every book you read, every hour you spend learning, every sacrifice you make to improve. It's like laying down bricks for the life you want. The great question is not what should I chase, but who should I become? Because when you become the right kind of person, you'll be amazed at what starts showing up in your life. Opportunities, relationships, income, joy, clarity. Success was never far away. It was simply waiting for you to grow into the version of yourself that could handle it. So don't chase it, attract it, don't beg for it, become it. You don't need more chances, you need more change in you. As Jim Rohn would say, set a goal to become a millionaire. Not for the $1 million, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. Now that's a worthy goal. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Now let me tell you the third truth about success most people never understand. Discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the missing link between what you want and what you get. You can write the best goals in the world, dream the biggest dreams, and even surround yourself with the most brilliant people. But without discipline, nothing happens. Discipline is the magic word. It's the foundation of all success. And without it, talent is wasted, potential is forgotten, and opportunities are missed. Now let me explain this the way Mr. Shoff explained it to me, and I've never forgotten it. He said, "Jim, if you don't pay the price for success, you'll pay the price for failure." That shook me, because he was right. Discipline has a cost. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep, going to the gym when you're tired, saying no to distractions, sticking to the plan when it's no longer exciting. But here's the secret. The price of discipline is pennies compared to the cost of regret. You see, everyone pays. The question is, will you pay the small price of discipline or the huge price of disappointment? Let me give you an example. Imagine two people with the same goal. They both want to get fit. The first one writes out a perfect plan, a diet, a workout routine, even signs up for a gym. The second one skips the planning and just says, "I'll show up every day no matter what." 6 months later, who's healthier? The one with perfect goals or the one with consistent discipline? The answer is obvious. The one who showed up. Discipline is showing up when it's not convenient. It's doing the small things over and over again until they become the big things. Discipline is waking up 30 minutes earlier to read a book instead of scrolling on your phone. It's saying no to a night out so you can invest in your business. It's choosing vegetables over fast food because your health matters more than a moment of comfort. Now here's what most people don't realize. Discipline compounds. Just like money compounds in a bank account, discipline compounds in your life. Every time you follow through on your commitment, you add to your personal character. You reinforce belief in yourself. You build the muscle of integrity. And just like muscles in the gym, the more you train your discipline, the stronger it becomes. You don't start by being perfect. You start by being consistent. Small disciplines practiced every day create a successful life. It's not about the big, flashy moments. It's about the quiet decisions you make when no one's watching. As I've said before, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Want to lose weight? Discipline. Want to grow your income? Discipline. Want to have better relationships? Discipline. You can't outsource it. You can't fake it. You've got to do it. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question. What's one small discipline I can begin today that will take me closer to the life I want? Not 10 things. 1. Success doesn't require that you be extraordinary. It requires that you be consistent. Every day you act with discipline, you're telling your future self, I'm coming for you. And your future self will thank you because you laid the foundation. So yes, goals matter. Yes, mindset matters. But discipline is the glue, the bridge. It connects who you are with who you could become. And the best part? Discipline is free. It's a decision. And every day you get to make it. As Mr. Schoaf told me, don't let the days slip by. Each one contains a seed, and with enough discipline, that seed grows into a harvest. You want a better harvest? Start planting better seeds, daily disciplines. The day everything changes. Let me leave you with this. Success isn't mysterious. It's not locked away in some secret vault. It's not owned by the wealthy or protected by the powerful. Success is available to anyone, but not for free. You have to earn it. And the price? It's not money. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's commitment, discipline, vision, and the willingness to grow. Let me ask you, when is the best time to start? You might say tomorrow. But success doesn't begin tomorrow. Success starts now. I remember the day everything changed for me. I was sitting in my apartment, broke, behind on my promises, disappointed in myself. Then I looked in the mirror and said, enough. Not enough with the world, enough with myself. I took responsibility. And that was the turning point. You see, life will always test you. There will always be reasons to wait, to blame, to delay. But success doesn't respond to excuses, it responds to action. So here's what I want to challenge you to do. Starting today, change your philosophy. Start believing that you are in control of your life. Change your habits. Start doing what you know you should do. Change your conversations. Stop talking about what's wrong and start talking about what's possible. Change your associations. Spend time with people who lift you, not limit you. Because when you change, everything changes for you. Let me remind you, you don't get paid for time. You get paid for value. You don't chase success. You attract it by who you become. And you don't reach goals by dreaming. You reach them through discipline. Those are the truths. They're simple, but they're not easy. And that's why most people miss them. But you don't have to be like most people. You can be the one who decides right here, right now, that your future matters enough to change your present. You can be the one who wakes up early, who reads the book, who turns off the noise, who steps forward when everyone else stands still. You can become the person who attracts success, not someday, but starting today. As I always say, if you will change, everything will change for you. And that, my friend, is the truth about success no one tells you until now. So take this message and don't just hear it, live it. Because your future is watching and it's waiting for you to rise.